Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're embarking on a journey back in time, not with a time machine, but by exploring something far more profound, the ancient survival wisdom of indigenous communities from around the globe. In a world of GPS and grocery stores, it's easy to forget that for thousands of years, humans thrived in the wild with nothing but their knowledge, their senses, and their deep connection to the earth. This isn't just about starting a fire with sticks. It's a completely different way of seeing and interacting with the world. So, what's the secret? One of the most fundamental principles is what I like to call deep observation. It's about more than just looking. It's about truly seeing. Take the Sand People of the Kalahari Desert. They are legendary trackers able to follow an animal's trail for days across seemingly featureless terrain. They don't just see footprints. They read a story in the sand, the animal's speed, its health, how long ago it passed. They notice a bent blade of grass, a disturbed pebble. It's a level of awareness that turns the entire landscape into an open book full of information. For them, the environment isn't a backdrop. It's a living, breathing entity that's constantly communicating. This teaches us a powerful lesson. Slow down, pay attention. The world is speaking to you, you just have to learn its language. Next, let's talk about the ultimate sustainable living. Indigenous communities were the original masters of zero waste. Every part of an animal or a plant had a purpose. Consider the Inuit of the Arctic. When a seal was hunted, nothing was wasted. The meat provided food rich in essential fats. The skin was used for waterproof boots and warm clothing. The blubber was rendered into oil for lamps, providing light and heat. Even the bones were carved into tools, needles, and fishing hooks. This wasn't just about being frugal. It was a sign of deep respect for the life that had been taken to sustain their own. This mindset challenges our modern disposable culture. Imagine looking at everything we use not as something to be thrown away, but as a precious resource with multiple potential lives. It's a powerful shift in perspective. This respect extends to the plant world as well. The Amazon rainforest is often called the world's largest pharmacy, and that's largely thanks to the botanical knowledge of the indigenous tribes who live there. For generations, shamans and healers have passed down an encyclopedic understanding of plants. They know which leaves can soothe a fever, which bark can treat a wound, and which roots can provide energy for a long journey. This knowledge wasn't found in a book. It was acquired through generations of trial, error, and careful observation. They understood the complex relationships between different plants, animals, and the soil. They knew that taking too much of one plant could disrupt the balance of the entire ecosystem. This is a crucial lesson in stewardship. True wealth isn't in what you can take, but in what you can sustain for future generations. Now let's think about navigation. Before compasses, we had the stars, the sun, and the subtle clues of nature. The Polynesians are perhaps the most legendary navigators in history. They settled thousands of remote islands across the vast Pacific Ocean in open canoes using a technique called wayfinding. They memorized star charts, but they also learned to read the ocean itself. They could feel the direction of different ocean swells, waves that had traveled thousands of miles as they reflected off distant islands. They observed the flight patterns of birds that roost on land and the type of clouds that form over islands. It was a multi-sensory approach to finding their way, a beautiful blend of science and intuition. It shows us that there are so many natural compasses around us, if we only take the time to learn how to read them. Another fascinating aspect is the concept of community as the core survival unit. In our modern individualistic society, we often think of survival as a lone wolf endeavor. But for most of our history, that was a recipe for disaster. Indigenous cultures are built on deep-seated cooperation. Knowledge was shared, not hoarded. Food was distributed according to need, not greed. Childcare was a communal responsibility. Everyone had a role, and everyone's contribution was valued, from the wisest elder to the youngest child. This social fabric created a resilience that no individual could ever achieve alone. It's a powerful reminder that our greatest strength lies in our connections with each other. In a crisis, a strong, supportive community is the most valuable resource you can have. Shelter is another area of incredible ingenuity. Think of the incredible adobe dwellings of the Pueblo peoples in the American Southwest. Using mud, water, straw, and stone, they built multi-story structures that were naturally cool in the scorching summer heat and warm during the cold winter nights. The thick adobe walls act as a thermal mass, absorbing the sun's heat during the day and slowly releasing it at night. The placement of windows and doorways was carefully planned to maximize airflow. This is a form of passive solar design that modern architects are now rediscovering. These weren't just houses. They were living systems perfectly adapted to their environment, built from the very earth they stood on. And what about water? In many parts of the world, finding water is the #1 survival priority. Aboriginal Australians living in one of the driest continents on Earth developed ingenious methods for finding and storing water. They could identify plants that store water in their roots, like the water-holding frog's burrow. They knew how to find soaks or native wells, which are natural underground reservoirs. They would even collect dew from leaves in the early morning using absorbent materials. Their ability to thrive in such an arid landscape is a testament to their incredibly detailed knowledge and their ability to think creatively about resources. It teaches us that solutions are often hidden in plain sight. Ultimately, the most profound lesson from Indigenous wisdom is the idea of reciprocity. It's the understanding that we are not separate from nature, but an integral part of it. The earth provides for us, and in return, we have a responsibility to care for it. This is a spiritual and practical worldview all in one. It's about living in balance, taking only what you need, and always giving back. When you see the forest not as timber, but as a community of living beings, when you see the river not just as water, but as the lifeblood of the land, your actions naturally become more mindful and sustainable. So how can we apply this ancient wisdom to our modern lives? It starts small. Spend time in nature without your phone. Try to identify a few local plants. Pay attention to the direction of the wind and the position of the sun. Learn a practical skill with your hands. Most importantly, foster a sense of gratitude for the natural world that sustains us. This isn't about abandoning modern life and moving into the woods. It's about integrating this mindset of awareness, respect, and connection into our daily routines. By learning from the past, we can build a more resilient and sustainable future for everyone. Thanks so much for joining me on this journey today. I hope it's given you some food for thought. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next adventure. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. See you next time.